Following a number of recent successes with NVIDIA's job interviews, I thought I'd share with you my top 3 tips to improve your chances to pass interviews with them. First one, probably the most self-explanatory, would be subject matter expertise. So if you're applying for a rather technical type of role, then it's always a good idea to refresh your memory with these things. However, as you'll see next, it's not only about this. Second thing I like to talk about here would be behavioral interviewing skills. Okay, so nowadays everyone is pretty much convinced that job interviews are very technical, and everyone is super interested in one's technical ability to do the job. However, in my experience, and I've had multiple candidates to report me back on this specifically with NVIDIA, is that overall, regardless if you had 4 or 8 interview rounds, there were more behavioral interview questions than technical interview questions, right? So by behavioral interview questions, I mean, tell me about the time when types of questions, as well as questions around cultural fit, as well around questions on things such as communication, your communication style, your leadership style. These all even introductory questions, you could even answer them behaviorally if you want. But my point is that more than half of these interviews were non-technical. Okay, so even if there might be a technical question or a technicality here and there, overall, it does pay off to prepare behaviorally as well for job interviews with NVIDIA. And this came to me as very much as a surprise in a context where everyone pushes these days that, hey, we're gonna screen people on their ability to do the job and our subject on technical expertise if you're applying for a primarily technical type of role, when in fact, in reality, it's slightly different. And I found that it does pay off to prepare the behavioral part as well, and it would have been impossible for me to guess this unless I had people reporting me that, hey, yes, then those behavioral interviewing skills do still matter in job interviews with these high-performing companies. And the third thing I like to talk about here is listening skills. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Well, in a context where NVIDIA's job interviews aren't necessarily the most structured of job interviews, so maybe they would prepare those questions in advance, but basically it's a very high-quality conversation with your interviewer, and your interviewer will be just simply asking what they think would be the most relevant question for you to determine whether you're a great fit for the role. This is when compared to other companies, that would have those questions carefully prepared in advance, and the same questions, even the follow-up questions, for each and every candidate they are screening on. And furthermore, some other companies even go as far as to take notes and to stress the importance internally, in their company, to stress the importance of taking notes and making a super informed decision. Whereas at NVIDIA, the feedback that I get is that these interviews aren't necessarily as structured. So the moment you catch why you're getting asked a question, you can significantly increase your chances to bias the interviewer towards you by using your best stories, right? So if they don't take notes, it means you can slightly even overdo it in the sense that you could only use your best stories for these occasions. So because of the fact, again, that interviews are unstructured and it's basically a very good, intense conversation, I believe listening skills is something you should be focusing on quite a lot for the purpose of interviewing and passing job interviews with NVIDIA. So I hope you found this useful, and thank you very much for watching.